Michael Strusiak, New Jersey Sharing Network volunteer and transplant recipient. Good to see you, Michael. You're on the air with us for the first time here.
Yes, thank you very much for having me on today and promoting this cause that's so deep in my heart.
Yeah, we'll talk about the cause in a second. Let's talk about you first, your experience. 6 years ago, what happened for you?
Let me take you back about 9.5 years ago. I was a type 1 diabetic. I said I was because now I'm not any longer. What happened was I went to my regular routine doctor. I was a type 1 diabetic, and she found out that my kidneys were failing. Sent me to Bergen Hypertension to do a test and see what's going on. And they did find out that the kidney was failing, and they figured, well, the type 1 diabetes took its toll and destroyed the kidney. Well, they had to put a fistula in my right arm and get me ready for dialysis, and I went on diets. Before they did the fistula, they did a scan of my body to see how my circulatory system was and the kidneys. And they found out that it wasn't the type 1 diabetes that destroyed my kidneys. I had renal cancer.
You had renal cancer?
Yes. And what happened then was they used the Da Vinci method. It's a robotics. Took out the kidney, and the other kidney, I only had one. And I started dialysis 3 days a week, 3.5 hours each day, and I was on multiple diets. One was a dialysis diet, no potassium, no phosphorus. The other diet was my diabetes diet, which caused a lot of problems on dialysis.
Describe that life.
Life was terrible at that point. Life was terrible. And then the worst part is I couldn't drink any water.
Couldn't drink water?
Couldn't drink water. I didn't urinate for 3 years. So
that was your life? That
was my life. Well, not all of it. I was taking care of my mom, who, after my father died, they were in love. My daughters will always tell it. And my dad on his deathbed saved...
4 daughters?
4 daughters, yes. My dad on his deathbed saved his pear for my mom from lunch. When he passed away, my mom had multiple strokes, and she was living in my living room, paralyzed from the neck down, with dementia, Parkinson's, and I had a hospital bed in my living room, and I took care of her during this period also.
While you were going through this?
While I was going through this.
6 years ago, what happens?
6 years ago, on September 11th at night, and they always called you at night, it's always 2 o'clock in the morning, I got a call from the, I guess it's the Sharing Network or the hospital.
Right.
Hi, Mike, how you feeling?
We should make it clear we're doing this in cooperation with the New Jersey Sharing Network. You see their information on the bottom of the screen. You want to find out more? You want to participate? You want to consider being a part of the program? Log on, find out. Go ahead.
They gave me a call, and they said, Mike, we have an offering. And this was 2 o'clock in the morning. It was my 12th offering on September 11th. And it was a young girl, they told me, and she died in a car accident. Well, you don't sleep the whole night.
This is Kristen?
This is Kristen, my donor, Kristen Teresa O'Hara.
She's a teenage girl?
19 years old. And I had 2 daughters that were 19 years old at the same time, and one was Kelly and one was Katie. And it hits home.
And this is Kristen.
Kristen, she died in a car accident on the way to visit a friend who just had a baby. 3 of the 4 girls passed away in South Jersey by Jackson, around the corner from her high school, Jackson Memorial High School.
Her organs wind up saving your life, okay, and then I think many, many other people as well.
Absolutely. She's my angel. She saved so many people's lives. I knew the heart recipient. There was somebody got a double lung transplant, another person got her liver, and it just adds on how many people that she saved and made the quality of life much better.
Could you, again, take a look at the website, do yourself a favor, and everyone around you, log on and get more information right now. That's why we're doing this program. Once you got Kristen's kidney, describe what happened in your life.
Well, in the recovery room, and I always tell the story, the nurses were looking at me, and I was trying to look to the side, and the one nurse got concerned, what's wrong? And the other nurse said, show him the catheter bag, the Foley bag. I didn't urinate for 3 years. Now I was. Now I had a brand new pancreas. I have no more diabetes. I don't need dialysis. I could eat cake, candy, things that I never had in my whole life. It changed my life. Plus everything else that happened to me too. Now I was able to walk my daughter down the aisle. It was almost surreal because my daughter didn't think I was going to live to get that far. And I remember sitting at the, setting it all up, and we were at the caterers doing a tasting, and she started crying. And the head person who was setting it up said, what's the matter, what's the matter? She goes, I never thought my father would get to see this day. I only weighed 120 pounds, now I'm 175.
How about your two grandchildren?
Oh, I got little Francesca Grace. She's,
Is that them right there?
yeah, that's them right there.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's them right there. And little Rocco Anthony.
Rocco Anthony.
Rocco Anthony De Laurentiis. He has a
Oh, my
great
God.
name. And he was just born a little bit over 2 months ago.
Oh my God.
I would never got to see them. I would never get to hold them.
Kristen gave you life.
Absolutely.
And that is connected to the Transplant Games of America. This medal, talk about it.
That's a gold medal in golf. And every 2 years, and this year, 2014, there's going to be the Transplant Games of America. It's going to be held this year, 2014, coming up in Houston, Texas.
Right.
And Team Liberty, which is part of the Sharing Network, we celebrate our donors, what they did for us. And we try to do through this games, which is nationally, there's every state in the United States is there. And we promote transplants and donor awareness throughout the whole country and throughout the world.
And Tristan was a basketball player.
Yes, she was.
And so therefore...
back in my first transplant games, let's see, 4 years ago,
Right.
I was on the basketball team. I played a little basketball in my life, and the first medal we won in basketball, and I have it on the quilt for her. Wow. She was a star basketball player at Jackson Memorial High School.
Let me ask you something. Michael, in the minute we have left, real quick, what do you want to say to folks watching right now in connection to the Sharing Network? What do you want people to do?
I want them to find out, call up, go to the website, and please sign up to be a donor.
Sign up to be a donor. Why?
Why? Because you signing up will help save somebody else's life.
There are thousands of people across the state, hundreds of thousands across the nation, right?
And
5,000 in New Jersey, 110,000 Americans currently waiting for life-saving organs. We need people to do this.
Absolutely. And it's such a rare thing. It's less than 1% of everybody who signs up to be a donor, less than 1% actually become a donor. That's how rare it is. And my one daughter really took this cause up. Now she works for the Sharing Network as a hospital service manager and actually takes care of the hospital where Kristen was being taken care of.
You're not just a great person, but a great representative of this organization. And we thank also Kristen for doing what she did. She'll be missed, but her life lives on. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for having us.